Coming up on Rick Dancer TV, boys will be boys. Doesn't fly anymore. We'll talk about that. We'll have an update for you on the kidnapped cow. A lot of people are making fun of selfies. I love selfies. We're going to talk about that. And a very good friend says goodbye. That's coming up next on Rick Dancer TV. I'm not dead. That sounds like something interesting. What's fun about living in this community for so long is you get to know people and you find out their backstory. And for me, that's what makes business people so amazing in this community. John Tocatli is the guy behind A1 Auto Glass. And when you sit down and talk with him, you find out that he has a story that just blows your mind. So we sat down, did an interview with him, talked to him about why he does what he does. And I'd like you to see that interview.
Windshields, side windows, back windows.
After nearly 30 years in the auto and now RV glass business, you won't find anyone who knows more about windshields than John Tocatli.
You got to stock all that stuff to be able to take care of the customer when they need it. And obviously, so for stock, we have the largest stock in the state of Oregon.
John left his homeland of Beirut, Lebanon in 1985 to escape a war and find a quiet place to raise a family. John's father followed him to Eugene, Oregon. They bought A1 Auto Glass, and the rest is local history.
So if it's not done proper, if it's not installed properly, you have all kinds of issues. Water leaks, air leaks, whistle.
John is attached to A1 Auto Glass like a father to his first child. In the early days, he lived next door to the shop in Eugene off High Street and worked at a trade he learned under his father overseas. That was a long time ago, and John doesn't get to work in the shop these days.
I am very old-fashioned guy. Definitely do things the old-fashioned way, and it works for me. It's always worked for me, and I will never change.
Now, Tocatli has 5 A1 Auto Glass stores from Eugene to Springfield to Corvallis and Roseburg.
I put myself in the other person's shoe. If this was me, what would I expect the shop to do or the other person? If I'm good with that, I think I did the right thing. My promise to you, if I promise you something is going to happen, it's going to happen. It doesn't matter how much money it takes, how much effort. I want to make sure whatever I promise you is going to be delivered. I got it from my dad. My dad taught me, from early age is like, you do things just not for the money, you do it because that's the right thing to do. That's been embedded in my brain, and I definitely follow that philosophy. I don't believe in papers. I don't believe signing thing is just if I give you my word, should be good enough. And so I know things change these days, but I'm still have not changed.
John Tocatli is committed to the community where he lives.
When you give, it comes to you tenfold. We have the Relief Nursery. It's something I believe in. The Mission is also another organization, and we do quite a bit in the community. Sometimes we just don't say anything about it. We just do it.
That, in a nutshell, is John Tocatli, a guy who deeply cares about what he does. A man who sees trust as something you earn and must keep.
We know so many people in this town. They're all friends and family, and we're not going to take any risk. It's not worth it.
A member of this community who believes responsibility is an investment in people.
If I have the ability to help somebody, I will do it. And God always took care of us, always gave us more.
Where your word is your word, and doing the right thing still matters. So, you know, this time of year you start looking on your windshield and you see those little teeny rock chips, and they just bug the heck out of you because you know if you don't get it fixed that it's just going to turn into a spider web over your entire windshield. So we're doing some videos for John Tocatli, and we did one on rock chips, and we went in there, and Will and I got to go in and see how they actually fix these before they turn into that spider web. Watch.
You look out your windshield and it's all you can see. Sure, in reality the rock chip is tiny, but you know it's going to grow. You know if you let it go, the cracks will start, and sooner or later that chip will ruin your entire windshield. At A1 Auto Glass, we can fill that hole and prevent it from destroying your windshield. It's a lot cheaper to fix a rock chip when it's small than to wait until it's turned into a spider web covering your windshield. Don't put up with those little chips. Bring it to A1 Auto Glass, where doing the right thing still matters.
Back on May 21st, I was thumbing through some of the old files that we got from the University of Oregon's Archives and Special Collections Department. This is the old KEZI video, and I found the Thurston High School shooting, and that was the anniversary that day. So I thought about it and wasn't sure if I should put something out there on the internet, and I decided to do it. And the response was overwhelming. People wanted to see it. They wanted to talk about it. So I think, you know, we should put this out there one more time, because if you don't remember what happened, how do you ever keep it from happening again?
A tragic situation at Thurston High School this morning.
A boy armed went into the cafeteria at 8 o'clock this morning.
Go ahead and start sending them out. I'll get the medicaments there.
If it was your daughter, you would. You'd be here. You'd be worried.
Linda!
Some have been transported, some have minor injuries. This is a list of people who have been involved in the shooting.
Last name?
Michael McCloskey.
Yes, my boyfriend was killed today. He was a junior. He was 17 years old. He was really quiet. He was really smart.
I just want to know, we want to know who did it.
He was the sweetest guy I've ever met in my whole entire life. And he was so innocent. So was everybody.
Now it looks like we may have 2 teachers and/or former teachers who are also dead. So this story keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Not only do we have...
I would ask a moment of silent prayer, please. I think prayer at the present time is the best recourse that we have. We will get through this.
I will give you the young man's name who was taken into custody. His name is Kipling Hinkle. He's 15 years old.
Tell me that again.
Voted most likely to start World War III. He liked explosives a lot.
Yeah, he came in shooting with the .22 caliber rifle. Jake was the first one to attack him. After we had tackled him and had held him down, he turned up to us with a serious look in his eyes and looked at us and said, "Just shoot me now." You can just tell everything was gone inside of him.
I just couldn't believe it. I see it on the news every day, every single time.
Fayetteville, Tennessee, Edinburgh, Pennsylvania, Jonesboro, Arkansas.
It's other places. It's never here.
Pearl, Mississippi.
And I never expected it to be in my school. Never. But it happened. It happened.
And now today in Springfield, Oregon.
I don't know. We're all parents. We've all, I'm a parent too. Could be our kids. I don't really know what to say. It's a sad day.
Okay, so remember we told you about this big story we broke on the kidnapped cow out of Brownsville? It's Lockmead Farms cow, and they want it back. It's not a real cow, but it's an important cow. It's a marketing cow. So anyway, somebody walks off with it, and we set up a hotline. So we've been having all these calls on the hotline, but the people listen for a little bit, and then they're hanging up. So we're starting to wonder if somebody really knows. We're sending text messages back, but we really want to find this cow. So, well, I don't have to tell you this. Let me show you the story we have, and then you'll know what to do. But please, help us find Aretha. Come on.
We're a little old country town, about 1,700 people. Everybody seems to know everybody else. You know everybody else's business, perhaps.
Or perhaps not. The week of August 18, 2013, a kidnapping took place near Brownsville, Oregon. Missing? Aretha, a well-known community figure.
So as the local newspaper, what do you guys know about this kidnapping in Brownsville?
Well, it was pretty horrible when we first learned about it. We thought that, you know, in our small community, that kind of thing really doesn't happen. But it did, and it's been a shock to everybody.
Dairy Mart is like the town square.
So are you having a good day?
It is a great day.
Somebody has had to have said something.
I heard about it just about a month ago.
Did you guys hear about the kidnapping?
Yeah, we did. Everyone's talking about it. The whole town heard about it.
You know, you walk down the street and people say, well, hey, have you heard about the kidnapping?
The owners.
And especially now that the posters are up. I mean, they're all over town.
Mothers don't let their kids go outside.
Huh. And nobody even knew she was gone.
Yeah, you know what? I can't believe anybody would do that. You know, that's just really, really low.
And we'd hate to think that anybody in our community would be guilty of such a heinous crime.
Okay, so you're a reporter.
Yes.
What have you found out about this kidnapped victim?
Well, I didn't really know about it until fairly recently, which means the trail is pretty cold.
So what happened in this quiet little town? Why has it taken a year for this information of Aretha's kidnapping to turn up? One day, it's a quiet, peaceful place to live. The next day, posters turn up and people are talking.
Aretha, she came to us years ago.
We did a little digging. As it turns out, Aretha is a longtime employee of Lockmead Farms.
She's been a part of the gang of girls out there for many years.
Lockmead hasn't said much publicly about the abduction, concerned more about Aretha's safe return.
She's been out in the public for years and never had any problem.
But people are starting to hear things, grumblings, possible sightings.
You know, it's being a body shop, we thought maybe there was a body around here, but we couldn't find nothing. And we've looked all morning long. No, nothing.
As a news guy, are you just milking this story for everything it's worth on?
Yeah.
Huh? Is that what you're doing?
Yes, I am. I must admit it.
Lockmead simply decided it had to go public.
So you guys you're at the Willamette Country Music Festival,
right,
in Brownsville.
Yeah.
It was the last night of the Willamette Country Music Festival. People were cleaning up, folks were leaving, and something happened.
I was out back by the truck just putting stuff away when the gentleman next door at the booth comes running and says, hey, somebody just took your cow.
Wow.
Aretha is one of 3 fiberglass cows owned by Lockmead Farms.
You know, I took the better of the 2 out there, too.
Her sister, who you see right here, and whose name and whereabouts remain a secret for obvious reasons, is an exact double.
Notice that the cow is going through the crowd almost basically by itself, it looks like. We're running after it, and we finally see these couple guys carrying the cow. We yell at them to drop the cow. They do. We grab it, bring it back.
Later that night, someone returns with a truck, talks to security, posing as a Lockmead employee.
You know, last night there was a gentleman from Lockmead came by and said he wanted to take the cow, and so he put it in the truck and took off with it.
So what does this mean to your family?
Kurt's right here.
In all seriousness, someone did take Aretha the fiberglass cow. Lockmead wants her back and is offering a reward for her return. No questions asked.
I'm hoping our posters out there will do some good.
Somebody had to see this.
Oh, they had to have seen it.
You know, you're leaving
a lot of people had to have seen it.
Right.
We've set up a hotline to get your tips. You can call 541-991-8790 or findingaretha.eugenedailynews.com. We want to hear from you.
We want her back. She's missed, and we would very much like to get her back.
You know, after you work out, there's people that drink, you know, these big protein shakes and they get all their big stuff together, or they're down in Gatorade or one of these, you know, sports drinks. If you look at the research, science actually shows the best thing for your muscles, not for your mind, but for your muscles, really the thing that will help you recover the most is chocolate milk. You need 3 carbs to every protein, and chocolate milk, especially Lockmead chocolate milk, has just what you need.
It's not the alarm that gets you out on the trail every day. It's your heart, whispering, get out of bed, this is your day. Your legs are tired. Your body begs you not to do it. But going back is not an option. This race is against your toughest opponent. This race is against you. You give it your all and we'll be back tomorrow to do it all over again. And when you finish, because you're never really done, only one thing can restore what was taken and what you gave. Lockmead reduced fat or non-fat chocolate milk. Recovery doesn't get any better than this.
One of the most beautiful bike rides you can ever take in the state of Oregon is Crater Lake. You ride around the rim, but there's a lot of cars during the summer months, and it's really tough because the road is not that wide. So last year, for the first time ever, Crater Lake opened the East Rim for 1 weekend only to bicycles only, and it was awesome. They've decided to do it again. They notified me this week, and they're going to open it September the 20th and September the 27th. So for 2 days. On the morning of May 16th, it was a Friday, I got a phone call, and a woman told me that a good friend of ours here at RDTV had passed away. Laura Mason Caldwell is 48 years old, has 3 children and a husband, and she died of breast cancer because it went undetected and it was too late by the time they found it. It went into a brain tumor. Laura did so many things to touch people in this community. She amazed me. She died gracefully, and in her death she actually lived in the end. And I think the things she said when we interviewed her were just so important, and we're all going to miss her. And I just wanted to put this together to kind of as a little tribute to her, because I think she has some words of wisdom, and just because she's not here anymore doesn't mean that she can't speak some great truths. So Laura, we're going to miss you. Here's Laura Caldwell.
Since the diagnosis, I've had chemo and radiation and surgery a couple of different times. So I had a bilateral mastectomy and then reconstruction surgery.
You can understand why Laura Mason Caldwell is so tired of fighting cancer. She says now she's ready to really live.
These are from Laura Caldwell, and she is a woman who is in the final weeks of her life here on this planet and going to the next life. She's been battling cancer, and people on Facebook wanted to give her flowers, and she said, no, flower forward.
I don't have to fight in that way anymore. I can just live and grab a hold of what I can when I can. And
hi. These are flowers from a woman named Laura Caldwell. I wanted to give her flowers, and she said, don't give me flowers, flower it forward.
They're from Laura Caldwell.
And absorb everything I can while I'm here, and absorb the people that I love and be with the ones that I love. And just that there's freedom of just, I can just do what I want, I can eat what I want, I can love who I want. I've even today just written a letter to a woman that I've had trouble with in the past 15 years. And I just wrote her a letter and just said, I want you to know I love you, and I'm sorry if I've caused you any heartache. And there's just things like that that I wanted to be able to not miss.
Those are for you, and these are for you. So think about her and her family, and go do something nice for somebody else for Laura Caldwell, okay?
It's just one of those things. You have to take every minute and say, I may never see you again. I mean, it's true for all of us. I may never see you again. I need to make this moment with you and tell you how much I love you, how much I care about you, and I need to show kindness to you. Oh, it's a huge gift because you can just really be real with people.
And they're from Laura Caldwell. She's a lady in the community who's in the last stages of breast cancer, and she just wanted to give flowers. Instead of having people give them to her, she wanted them to be given. And so if you guys would, yeah.
Not worry about what they think or the things that are socially not acceptable or that feel awkward. Just to lean into that and press into that and just go, I don't really care if this is acceptable or not, but I just want you to know that I love you. I love that. He's brought fun and laughter into my life, and you know, I think with that is also his fierce stubbornness, which I won't miss.
What is love? It's teamwork. It's a commitment.
Now you're going to have to do it by yourself. I'm sorry. But I think that's what love is to me, is that he never said, I'm leaving. Things got hard. It was always just, we're in this together. No matter how far it goes, we're in this together. And I don't have that impression about leaving a legacy for myself. I don't have that drive. I think the only time I feel like I want that to happen is with my children, that they would know who I was, that they would know what I stood for.
And your grandchildren.
And my grandchildren. That they would know that I was who I was. That's important to me. Because I think I'm pretty awesome.
It means a lot. My father just went on hospice yesterday, so this is nice for me.
So you can go give something to your father then.
Yes.
Thank you so much. No, I'm glad. Those are from Laura. She'd be happy to know you have it, and she'll be seeing this.
The last couple of weeks, just that we're going to talk about everything.
We're going to talk about her
We're
dying.
going to talk about me dying. We're going to laugh about me dying.
What's going to be about when she's gone?
We talk a lot about how that's going to be for him and for the children. And we talk about it because in my mind, if you don't talk about it, they're like shadows that come out of the corners and they envelop the room. And I think only by talking about it does it drive all those shadows out. And I'm going to miss all of them getting married. I'm going to probably miss their college graduations and you know, all of those big monumental things I'm just not going to be here for. And we're doing some practical things, or we're trying to do some things that will kind of leave my footprint on some of that stuff. They'll have a letter or a video or something from me so that they'll be able to show it to their grandkids or whatever.
It's going to be completely different. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'll get through it. You know, as Mason keeps reminding me, he said, we're going to get through this, Dad, because we have a lot of love for each other.
You know, I've said from the very beginning, I want to do this well.
I don't know what it
I don't know what it look like. I don't know how to do it. I don't have the strength to do it, but whatever. And I knew if I was going to do it well, it had to be with a lot of people around me. But I just want to do it well. I want God to be glorified in me. I want people to see Him in me. And to me, that means taking care of myself and loving other people and being kind and just trying to, I don't know, be honest.
I remember when I was a kid and I used to do something wrong, or other boys or my friends would do something wrong, people would usually excuse it by saying boys will be boys. What's interesting though is we're doing a lot of work with women's space and discovering that, you know what, that is just an excuse. That's not true. And we need to teach our boys that that's not the way they're supposed to be. Watch.
Boys will be boys. When boys engage in bad behavior or do something mean, or they punch each other, or they get into a fight, we say boys will be boys. So what are we telling our little boys and our young men? We're excusing it instead of, again, engaging in what's respectful. that's not okay. I think we have to have a standard of what's acceptable, and just because of someone's gender doesn't excuse them fighting or being mean. And I think it sets our boys up, that the popular boys, the big boys, the ones that are behaving badly, sometimes are the ones that kids are also looking up to. They're the tough guys. Everyone wants to be the tough guys. And we're setting them up. We tell them that if they are gentle in that somehow that's not the right way to be. So when we tell boys will be boys, I mean, what a setup.
So what are you doing on the 4th of July? No, I'm not inviting you over to my house for a big picnic. I'm inviting you to one of the biggest parties in Lane County, Dexter Lake. The Dexter Fire Department, Eugene Daily News, and a lot of other sponsors are putting on a huge party with live music and food and drink. Steel Pail, one of our favorite growler stations, is going to be out there helping out. So this is really something you need to put on your calendar for July 4th, Dexter Lake. We'll have more details in the shows coming up later in the month. You know what I'm sick of? I'm sick of people that are making fun of folks like me for doing selfies. You know, all of a sudden selfies are the worst thing ever. Like, you know, they make fun of them in songs and music, and I love selfies. I think they're awesome. I don't think we should be ashamed of selfies. I think we should be proud of selfies. Stand up for selfies. You know, people who use selfies are just people like me who don't want to hire Will, the photographer. See, he's right there. And I can't hire him every time I want to go take a picture, so I take my selfie. So maybe it's because people don't know how to do selfies. So let me show you how this works. Obviously, you put your camera on reverse. Never do a selfie of yourself in the bathroom with your shirt off. It's kind of like if you're over 40 and wearing bling on your jeans. It doesn't work. I've been called the king of selfies, so I'm going to show you how to do a selfie. First, you have to put your camera on reverse so it's shooting you. I mean, I know that's pretty obvious, but some people don't realize that. The other thing you have to know is for a true selfie, it needs to have your arm in the picture. That's the only way it works. I'm going to start putting your selfies on the air. No nudity, none of that, but you're going to email me at rick@rickdancer.com, send me your selfie, and we'll stick them on the show. And here's the best news. If you have somebody who's like a public figure, like Wayne Morris, in the background, you know, doing a photo bomb, you get extra points. All you have to do is send them to me, and stop sawing right now. Good night. I mean, really? Really? This is all you have to do is cut wood while I'm out here trying to shoot a show? What about me? I realize they have work to do, but so do I. I'm a businessman too. Come on. What is he cutting? Turn the saw off. I'm going to use the shut up word in a minute. Shut up! Mister, we're just trying to shoot a show. Come on, it's just Will and me. Oh man, come on. Shut the off button. I'm trying to shoot my show, and Mr. Worker over here, there, stop the saw. Get a coffee break or something. Okay, so where were we?